What's going on, guys? This is Inspector Freck, and today I'm bringing you the next episode in my Road to Who I Am Today, Danielle episode 2. I Road to Danielle episode 2. Danielle sent me a message, apparently. Thanks. Yeah, I figured that was kind of fitting, actually. And she's in the game with me, I just noticed that. Mainly, if you guys don't know, the first episode of this was my last video I uploaded, so go check that out. But my next girlfriend, really after Jody, that was really anything significant, was this girl named Nikki, and we started off. I don't even remember exactly how we met. Oh. She was a friend of my sister's. Not really like friend, like, they hung out all the time, but like acquaintance in high school, And she had just broken up with a kid who I didn't know at the time was one of my friends. I did, I was into mopeds in high school. Not scooters, but like actual, like look them up, like Tomos mopeds, Pook mopeds, those kind of things. And he was into them too. I didn't know they were going out. And yeah, I ended up dating her through my sister. It was fairly good. The biggest issue that came from being with her was her dad was always, he was in the picture, like his parents were together. But if I remember right, they weren't married, and I know he worked on a fishing boat and he was never around. I know that for sure. And so she kind of had like daddy issues. Like she was, immature, kind of really immature at times. And really it was her immaturity that ended up, I know it kind of sounds kind of stupid because I was like mostly like 16 years old, kind of 17. But like her immaturity was just what really ended up killing it. And like she would just, I couldn't have a conversation. She was like a bit of an airhead. She couldn't have adult conversation. Like, not necessarily adult, but like she couldn't have like proper corner camper. She couldn't have like proper conversations about anything. Really, all she knew how to do was sit there and oh, I like cats or something like that. Stupid shit. Like, she was a real nice girl. We got together. She was extremely attractive in my opinion, anyway. I like to, like, she brought out the kid in me. Like I for reasons I don't think I'm going to get into in this whole thing, just because it's extremely big deal to me. That remains unsaid. But there was an incident that happened when I was just before I turned, right as in my early teenage years, where I ended up kind of almost being forced into maturing a little sooner than everyone else in some areas. And like being with her kind of brought out the kid in me. It brought back kind of that, you could be a kid, you can have fun, you can joke around, you could do fun things. It's not, life's not all this depressing adult life yet, at 16 or whatever I was. And it was fun. She really taught me how to open up. What I mainly took from being in that relationship with her is that even though I'm an adult, even though I'm, what am I now, 22, almost 23 years old, even though I have a family to take care of, a son, a fiance, it doesn't mean that fun has to stop here. It doesn't mean that, I shouldn't be still enjoying my life. It doesn't mean that, shit's all downhill. That's really the lasting impression she left on me, is to always look at, I always Danielle gets me killed right here. I knew it. Thank you, Danielle. I really learned to, like, always, like, part of it was from my dad, but, like, I really learned with her, like, through her, really, to always be, like, learn to stay young, I guess, is the way to put it. Always remember how to, like, still have fun, keep the stress down, all that kind of stuff. It's really, it's hard because every time I tell one of these stories, I kind of feel like, wow, that was such a big important thing to me. It's really made me a lot of who I am today. And then I feel like I'm saying it, like I said, I'm saying about every one of them, but she really, like, those things really are a big part of, like, who I am. I have a fairly stressful life. If you guys don't know, me and Danielle got in a car accident last Friday, and we don't exactly have, that was our only car really, because the Eclipse has been down, and we don't really have much money or options as far as driving wise. And the adult, like the me without knowing Nikki, the me without learning the lessons from Nikki, of always looking positive. I would have sat there, I would have torn my hair out, I would have thrown a fit, gone crazy really, because of all the stress. I really would have been stress overload. But she would always like look at the positive shit. Like when I would lose, I was big into like street hockey in high school. I would fairly say that was one of my best sports. And I feel like I mentioned that before. But like when we would lose a tournament, and like I was out on the rink for the game losing, for the tournament losing rather. There's Travis. Get out of here, Travis. For the tournament losing, goal, I'd feel like shit, and she'd find a way to kind of bring light to every situation that was bad, and I know she didn't necessarily do it on purpose, but it taught me to, it's one of those, she was way too bright to do it intentionally, not too bright. She was the opposite. She wasn't bright enough to do it intentionally, but it's one of those things that she did end up doing, and I'm glad for it, because like I said, it makes my life as an adult now a whole lot easier. I look at things, and the first thing I search for, no matter how bad they are, no matter how fucked I am or how much pain I'm in, I always look at now, the best of it. What's, all right, so like when we crashed, all right, so the car crashed, all right, so now we don't have money to fucking fix it. All right, we're broke and we have no car, that kind of stuff. But instead of looking like that, like I looked at it like, this is I can't even tell you exactly how. I kind of felt like it was a good thing, and I can't even explain what about it was good. I just, like, when it happened, I was kind of like, wow, this is. This is a good thing. It's not that big of a deal, even though of course it is. I explain it the way I just explained it, and how it really is, and it seems like a huge deal, but I just picked up a triple, didn't I? But it's not worth, like, the main thing, I guess what I'm trying to get at is, being with her made me realize that stress, doesn't make things any better. The only way to make things better, especially with internal things with yourself, is to not take it so hard. Take it lightheartedly. Take it not as a joke, but take it like it's not as big of a deal as it really is. It calms you down. It keeps my nerves even. I mean, every so often I get pissed, I get mad about stuff. It doesn't mean I'm not going to, but I took one for you, Danielle. God damn it. It doesn't mean I'm not going to get upset about stuff, but it does mean that. Tell me, Danielle, walk past this guy. It helps me. It helps me realize that things. It always makes me think things can be worse, or things are not as bad as they could be, and yeah, but so I guess in summary, like, what ended up like ruining us was the same thing that really helped me. That ended up helping me in the end of it. She was too mature for me. She was, she didn't have that serious side. She taught me to have that, to bring out that childish side. She didn't have a serious side. Everything was a joke, and I needed to have a good conversation, and it was just not possible with her. But yeah, it's definitely helped me with Danielle, because now I feel like it makes me feel like a kind of a complete package. When Danielle's down, when Danielle's upset about something, or like when the car happened, like, she wasn't that upset, but it wasn't because she wasn't naturally. It was kind of one of those things like I kept on reassuring her like everything's gonna be fine. You know, it could have been worse, and you know, really without Nikki, I wouldn't have been able to do that. You know, if that car crash would have been like, we're fucked. You know, we would have been sitting there, you know, screaming for our lives. We're fucked. We're fucked. The sky is falling. That kind of shit. But anyway, it looks like me and Danielle ended up doing pretty good. But that was episode 2. My next girl, road to who I am today. Road to Danielle is going to be a girl named Crystal. It's a fairly interesting ride. I learned a few lessons from her. But that'll probably be up in the next few days. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.